quiet.
No, I like the color.
All right, we're live.
Cheers, boys. Sunday soak.
Live and alive.
First one of the year. We made it to Sunday. Unbelievable.
Beautiful weather.
Absolutely fantastic out here.
Couldn't be better.
I feel great. I know you guys feel great. We're barely hungover today. That's true.
I'm barely hungover.
Moderately so.
Stomach is a little
We'll get there
a little
later.
woogie.
Welcome to the Sunday Soak. This year's Sunday Soak is powered by More Than Dawgs. They're in the northeast corner of 34th and Shields. They provided us with some great breakfast sandwiches this morning. I smashed one of them just before we went on air. Terrific. What was that we had before that?
They had a Philly hash, and it was like Philly cheesesteak with potatoes and green pepper and onion, and I ate all that.
Hey, let me have a little bite. Let me have a couple spoonfuls.
And then I growled at him. Like,
all right, as the uninitiated don't know, but all of you watch all the time do know, the Sunday Soak is an all-questions show.
all swears,
All curse and all question show. We're going to start, lead off with an OG of the 108. Aloha, Mr. Hand. And he's really calling you out, MSS. You were a fucking coward from Thursday night. He paid to have you speak for 5 minutes. You evaded this question. We're forcing you to take it now.
Oh, he
said, how would MSS get a date with Violet Myers, and where would he take her? The floor is yours, my friend.
I get it?
Because you have claimed in the past, in your younger days, when you were out on the West Coast, you could have gotten with a Violet Myers goal.
So finding her would be the hardest part, right? Because sometimes she's dead and sometimes she's not. Read the award-winning blog that I did. The highest numbers we've ever done on the blog, not to brag. So you got to make sure she's still alive. She is alive. So you got to kind of like stalk her on the.
That's a great start. Great start.
Exactly.
Find out where she's going to be.
Dating. Okay, we're right.
So then we're going to find. Right. Well, if the DMs are open, maybe I shoot her a DM. You know, I got a few followers. You know, on the thing, and then it so that hopefully that would.
Wait a minute, you're not dating her now.
I know.
She's not dating your broke ass now. She wants you back then.
Oh, back then.
Yeah, back then.
Okay, so that definitely stalking has to happen. Because I don't even think they had Instagram back then. So if I was younger now, I would have to go electronically. Would have to find her that way. Okay. But the big part is so let's just say that just happens. All right. Yeah. I just run into her. Maybe I run into her at like the porn convention. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, do you want to go get something to eat? You know, or you want to go get dinner? You don't take her to a nice place. Anyone can take her to a nice place. Yeah. You take her to like a very low to mid place, like maybe a sports bar or something. Okay. So you can just bullshit and talk, you know, and whatever. And then just drink shitty beers or whatever. So like you don't want to
run down your plate.
You don't want to go too big.
Yeah, can you whiteboard this?
Let me run down your plate. Your plan is to go to a porn convention where she's being paid to be there, and guys are coming up to her, probably propositioning her on the out.
Right.
And your line is going to be, baby, let me take you to a very mid
to Norms. Yeah.
Okay.
Norms is like a good breakfast place out in California. Okay. Maybe we'll go to Norms. You know, like you can get a triple stack, chocolate chip pancakes or some shit. Because, she's got to eat chocolate chip pancakes. You can't have an ass that big without eating. I don't think I can do it, guys. I've talked myself out of being able to get a date with Violet Myers, so thanks, Pete.
That's just all the dates he normally had. He just wedged Violet Myers into his whole date. That's all he did.
I never took anyone to dinner. We met after dinner.
Afterwards?
Maybe drinks. Okay.
Couple cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh, tons of cigarettes.
Tons of cigarettes
as you want.
Okay, got it. All right, I hope that was helpful. Next question is for our guy, Free Gypsy Rose. And Rose says, I'm sure it's been asked thousands of times before, but just in case. Have any of you accidentally made wood in there during the Sunday Soak?
Does it have to be accidental?
It could be on purpose, I guess, but he assumes that we're not chalking in here, maybe. So I think it's a fair assumption. Tracy, you want to start?
I haven't. And mostly because usually when we do the Sunday Soak, my body isn't even capable of that at that point. I'm just like fighting off cramps most of the show. So
that is all I think about too. Like if I cramp up, where can I shoot my leg? Where I'll kick you guys.
I just gonna kick. I'm gonna set straight the ball with my cramped leg and have to leave it there. So,
hopefully, I've made wood. I don't need a full foot in a mushy dick. You know, give me a good, big, strong wood.
Hopefully, if it's warm, your balls all over the place. It won't get kicked. You know? They're coming down the pant leg in a certain area. They're not all tight right now.
What's funny though about this question is right before we were coming out here, MSS was telling us that he had a song stuck in his head, a terrible song.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're supposed to think of Private Dancer by Tina Turner.
Yeah.
And you made the comment, if I do that, I'm gonna make wood in the top. So are you erect right now?
I have not. I have never accidentally done it, but I do it all. I get wood all the time. That's always on purpose. That's on purpose. When you watch these guys walk in, I'm a big fan of Latinos. When I watch guys walk, the Latino men come in the pool or in the tub. I mean, right up.
Sprung. I have not. I have not sprung wood. We've been here. I'm usually preoccupied with trying to read the questions, making sure we got the thing going. So I don't know. I'm not thinking in those.
You know, it's an unknown though. We've had other people in the tub.
That's true.
We don't know how they've been.
We got to put a survey out there. Google Doc that bitch. You know, I would bet Brian Knight said would. That would be my guess. You know, I assume he's rock hard all the time, but I don't know for sure. Kind of faded. He was losing all the blood. All the blood from his head. I'm surprised there's not more farts in here.
That is,
you guys are good about not farting during the show.
It's too risky on Sunday morning.
Yeah, you can't make doo-doo butter in here. That'd be really bad. All right, the next question is from White Sox Sal.
Hey, fuck you, Sal, for the first time all year.
Absolutely. And White Sox Sal asks, which 108 visitor that you haven't seen in a long time do you miss the most? Treasy first.
Well, it's not Sal, because I don't think I've ever met Sal.
No, not in person. We did 3 things with him. That's about the only time.
It's so I haven't seen him in any time, so it can't be a long time. So I will go with I'll go with my guy in the UK because we don't see him very often at all, Dom. So Dom will come every once in every few years, right? Like so, it's been years since we saw him last. But I always love talking to that guy. Big music guy. So you know, if you're a big music guy, and especially 90s music, like you sit next to me for a while, we could talk about it.
Yeah, there's no question about it. MSS.
I had to give this like a lot of thought because we see most of the people that we've always seen. The one person that I would definitely want to see that's still up there had a viral video. We wish the burrito guy would come back and maybe come and sit in this section. He's responsible for a lot of things 108. It really got the brains going. And so it would be nice to meet him, and then he could try to sue me for half the money that I've earned from his video.
He's still alive.
The guy
was putting it away in a fashion where I don't think his lifespan could be that long. I'm not sure.
He eats so much food. What about you?
You know what? To me, it was an obvious thought, and I think when I say it, you guys are going to totally agree with me. Is there's a level of excitement when every time you roll up to the section, you see Mike Turner scene.
That's
and there's hugs all around, and everyone's excited to see each other. Like so, he's the type of guy like you don't see him, you go long periods of time without seeing him, and then you just pick right back up.
Yeah.
So.
I will never forget the time that he was asking us about something. And I was like, I got to work. He's like, you guys have jobs?
All right, next question is from Schlesh Pappy. This is for Treasy. It says, Treasy, you could jam with one band, past or present. Who would you want to play with?
So this is something you and I have talked about before. And my answer is one of laziness. I always thought it would be cool to be in Stevie Ray Vaughan's band, to be in Double Trouble.
Yeah.
Because like the bass lines aren't that tough, right? So basically what you're doing is you and the drummer are keeping the groove going, and you're just watching Stevie Ray Vaughan be incredible. Right. So like that, I mean, to me, that seems very fun. Like I wouldn't get a lot of opportunity to do anything, but I'd be like 4 feet from Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, you probably get a little bit of cocaine on you.
I would think
absolutely. Anytime he whipped his head back, you'd get like a little dusting.
Well, that would be interesting because you get the excess groupies, you get the excess whatever drugs are left over. You would get there's a lot of benefits to this job without a lot of work.
And I never saw Stevie Ray Vaughan live, so like this would be my opportunity to see it from mere feet away from it.
Right.
It's interesting. I would have gone in a different direction for you. I would like to see you jam with a band that would like really press your abilities, force you into some different creative space. I would love to see you like sitting in with the Roots or someone like that.
Oh, man.
That would really like press you to like.
I wish I were good enough to do that.
Well, that's what I mean.
I was thinking like a Perfect Circle. You know, like
Yeah,
one of those
I was trying to go out
weird,
of the normal genre that he might like actually play in a band with. You know? That's
See, but
that's
if we were playing for a Perfect Circle, I'd be like, the whole time, I'd be like, man, I wish I were in a Tool instead.
All right, next question is from Ben, and Ben says, Battle of the Oft-Injured. Who would you take in a fight? Carlos Quentin or Eloy Jimenez? My sucks so much.
It's like, this is even a question. Carlos Quentin. The guy's taken like 87 pitches to like the collarbone after it's been broken. And like, still went out and fought, you know? Like, I'll take Carlos Quentin.
Yeah, Quentin's built like a fucking linebacker.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like he looks like a guy who's been in some fights in his life. So I get the idea here, but I think Eloy would just get his ass kicked in this fight.
I don't think there's ever been a like. Did Carlos Quentin ever pull a hamstring?
Now the question, but you know
he broke his hand.
He broke his
smashing
hand.
a bat.
So like if he breaks his hands,
Then he's cooked.
Eloy's got a huge advantage right away.
Maybe
So-
he got a glass fist.
You think? Remember the movie Gladiator? Not the shitty one with Russell Crowe, the one where they were boxing, bare knuckles.
Yeah. It's Cuba Gooding Jr. and that. Yeah.
Maybe Eloy has that trick where he makes him punch him on the top of the head, breaks both of his hands, and then he just kicks it. So I'm switching Eloy.
I was gonna say, I don't know if Eloy can fight, but if you whoop his ass, then he'll just bang your mom or your sister behind your back to get even. So that's he's got a way to get even with your ass.
He does.
He'll be fine.
Or you just run away from him and he'll just pull a hamstring. And,
I wonder about that. Does his goofiness lead you to believe that he can't fight? Maybe he can really fight. Like you always think, oh, the guy who's like a prick, like Carlos Quentin, like a serious asshole, that guy can fight. But I'm not sure that's necessarily true. But those people sometimes are just assholes and they can't fight at all.
Also, you think about how Eloy plays the game, right?
Yeah.
Like when he does connect,
It's huge power.
it is. So like, is he like a one punch guy? Like he just got to get that one first punch in, and then Carlos Quentin's dead.
Right, I wonder. Yeah, that's what
I'm weighing on Eloy.
Backing it up, baby. All right. The next question is from Kevin Bell's Raggedy Ass Batting Glove, which I love that handle, by the way.
it's a long.
And Batting Glove says, please describe the current tension level between the three of you guys, the Beef Wolf going solo, using an updated version of the Rebuild Meter. I assume he means my solo podcast. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in here with these assholes all the time. So, current tension
all
level.
the time.
Current tension level?
Yeah.
It's so my tension is always with my sucks.
That's correct.
Because I'll give you a good example.
Why?
A good example where my suck summer gets my blood up. So yesterday, he's like, "Hey, did you make a new intro for the Sunday Soak?" And I was like, "Oh man, I haven't, but I could do that tomorrow morning." And I said, "I just need a couple things from you. Just send me the logo that we need for More Than Dogs, and then tell me what you want it to say." And so MSS doesn't even attempt to go to his phone and send me a logo.
Right.
Rather, he just starts rattling off sentence after sentence about what the three words I need are going to say. I wake up this morning.
I was doing that just to fuck with you.
No
logo.
no learning. I just went and did it myself.
I taught you an important lesson. And you can do it yourself. You don't need me to do it.
He thought you don't believe in yourself.
This is why the tension's high. This is why the tension's high.
It's funny this question comes up now because we were at the Chicago Sports Club's tailgate. I'm talking to some guys this day, and they were asking, like, you guys have been doing this thing for so long. How do you work together so well? You seemingly work together. And what I came to the resolution of is we're control freaks, but we're control freaks in our own areas.
Yeah.
So we don't butt into each other a lot. Like we have our specific spots where it's like, I'm taking control of this. I'm doing this. I'll take your input, but I may not use it, that sort of thing. And we kind of do that, but we don't bang into each other on it, so we're good.
It is kind of shocking that my suck summer, you don't anymore at least tell Beef, hey, I want to write the analytical article about the team. All right?
Not one time. I gave that up. You're the one that has that. I'll stick with Violet Myers.
All right, next question is from Brian S. And Brian S. says, say the entire 108 section. We're talking the seating section, not the brand here. Is in a plane crash in the mountains. Who leads the group to safety? Who's the first person that gets eaten? My suck summer, who gets eaten first? We'll go that way, and I'll let Trees do the safety.
Anyone that dies. Like, the dead will get eaten first, right?
Okay.
And then
Partially cooked, maybe. In
right.
crash.
Potentially. I don't know if you guys haven't watched Yellow Jackets, but, like, Did you watch it all?
No.
So this new season, like the girl, they're burning the one girl that's dead, and then a bunch of snow falls on top of her, and it cooks her, and so she doesn't like. They all come out and they start eating her, and I was like, oh, this shit, because they're so hungry, right? So like they're like, oh, it's the gods. They gave us this food. It's our friend that's been dead for 3 months. And we just ate her. But no, like, yeah, the dead would get eaten first, and then you just start picking them up. Like, Aloha Mr. Hand is definitely going to get picked off.
Yeah, he's
like,
gonna get eaten.
He can't run away from us. Like, you know, you'll be able to get him, and like, he could feed us for a while.
Don't fall asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be probably the first one. Brian, don't sell yourself short either. We'd eat you too. So you're a little bit hairy.
We need the cotton candy beard first.
I was gonna say, plucking all the hair out would be arduous with him. That's why Mr. Hand looks smoother. We can eat him more easily. We have to all the hair we have to get out of Brian. I'm not sure it'd be worth it.
I don't feel like
we're eating skin. I don't care what you say. All right, that's the crispy part that we like. All right,
I'll eat the skin.
I was thinking the guy who has
who's got
I was thinking the guy who has increased marbling lately is Wally Money. He'll get eaten first too. Yeah. He's defenseless out there. Like, he doesn't have his.
He's not a leader. So
he's got no gel. He's got no cologne. He's drawn dead out there.
See, the guy I thought would stay alive for a long time.
Yeah.
And would maybe be able to lead us is Matt Ramsey, because we would never be afraid of Matt Ramsey killing us. Yeah. Because he wouldn't eat us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And then we don't have to supply him with food because he would just forage.
That's right.
And while he's out foraging, he may find a town.
Yeah, he's a gatherer, no hunting, just the gathering part. But yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good
comment.
So you think he could be the leader?
Right? I don't think he could be the leader,
but he wouldn't get eaten. Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely be the leader.
I thought you would be the leader too. I thought you kind of have the loudest voice. You would ascend to the leadership level
so much.
Oh, we would be fighting for sure. We fight with everything.
But I would be like the guy in Mr. Show though. I'd find the town, but I'd continue to eat people.
We can't let this go to waste.
All right. Next up is Eloy's red batting gloves, and Eloy's red batting gloves says, "Let's propose a hypothetical white flag trade already." He said, "To what team? Who goes? And what is the return?" Figure we'll do it as a group here. My thought is like it's probably one of the starting pitchers, right?
Got to be Cease, right?
It's no, well, it could. I mean, it could.
If you're truly doing white flag.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. The white flag part of it makes like that's not just a guy we're dumping off because the contract's on. Right? This is like a guy who's a star. So okay, we're trading Cease. Where are we trading them to?
I mean, the Mets and the Yankees both feel like places where they'd be like, yes, we need this, and we will extend it.
Yeah,
so like that's one. But like the problem,
the Mets got that Brett Beatty. They got the catcher kid.
The problem with the Mets though is that they don't really want to trade from that depth, right? The model that the Mets are creating is where they'll overspend in free agency to keep the team good for now, but they do have the expectation that the young guys are going to come through and fill in the gaps, and the gaps that they don't fill in, they'll continue to.
That is awkward.
They'll continue to address with free agency. So I'd be surprised if they made a move like that. So I think the Yankees might be the one. Okay. What would the return be from the Yankees?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, they got that hotshot shortstop,
right?
Anthony, whatever.
Would they Volpe, right?
Volpe, yeah, Volpe.
So if they were willing, I mean, like that's the type of move you'd have to make.
That's right. You get a big, you get a lot for a seat. Still, Cease will give you a lot of return.
So
we know what we get though. We just get prospects.
Well, that's of course
a prospect.
Yeah, he's just in the majors now. He's 21. He started the year in the majors. So like that's the kind of guy you need, a real future building block guy that's like here, ready to roll. It doesn't have to be ready to roll, but it's got to be like a top 10, top 20 prospect.
Yeah,
right. So.
You for him, I think 1 for 1. I don't know if they would do it. They might require someone in addition. Or it might just become a much bigger trade. We'll see.
Right, with a lot of other parts to it. Yeah,
there's just so much control on Volpe, and he's got so much upside. It'd be surprising.
Him and Rodon back on the same team, I think, would make them very happy.
Yeah, especially both at the peak of their powers, no question about it. Next question is from Strap It Down CWS. At this moment in time, do Sox fans have better capabilities or better knowledge of the players' capabilities than Pedro does? MSS, what do you think? Do they have a better grasp of the rosters, the players' capabilities than Pedro Grifol does?
God, I hope not. I mean, really, like that would be like really fucking stupid. Like he should know what these guys should be able to do, right? Mm-hmm. And I think he kind of does, but he trots people out way too much that he likes. I think he gets overwhelmed. Like, you could overwhelm him by, like, if you drop off, like, a gift to his office or something, you're probably going to get in the starting lineup. Like, he's like, you know what?
It's that close.
Yeah, he's like, I am going to put this guy in today, Hunter Alberto, or whatever. But yeah, no, I don't think. I think he plays a lot with his heart. He doesn't understand that, like, just fucking let Kolas stay out there. Let Sosa stay out there. Just let him fucking figure this shit out. Don't put in another bum. We don't need another bum.
Teresa, what do you think?
Grafal knows way more about these guys than we do. In fact, Jesus Christ, Sox fans know it's seemingly less and less every day about the team. With the amount of people going, well, when Moncada comes back, I guess Berger probably goes second. Why haven't they been given guys like Shane Reardon going? They should have been giving this guy reps. They were giving him reps at second, and he couldn't catch a fucking pop-up. Like, so I mean, like a lot of stuff like that. Like when you start looking, think about how many of you made wood for Hunter Alberto a few weeks ago, right?
I love my meme, right, with the shirt guy, flannel shirt guy.
So, like, I think in general, I think about it myself. Like, I walked into the season going, I think Kendall Graveman's going to be the closer. I don't see how you would put someone else in the closer role, even though I like Raylo. Yeah. I was fucking wrong. And Raylo is fine. He's had some issues. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't have thought that. I mean, there's tons of things that we don't know about these players because we haven't seen these players. There's guys on the team like Benintendi who a lot of White Sox fans have not watched a lot of his games. So, like, thinking that we know more than Grafal about these guys and know how they are feeling each day to day. When someone's out of the lineup and everyone's like, holy shit, how do you pull this guy out of the lineup? Hey, maybe the guy's hungover. Yeah. Maybe the guy had an awkward step yesterday and his ankle's swollen. They just don't want to tell the media because people will lose their fucking minds. Right. Exactly. I think he knows all those things too. And it's I don't have that insight.
Yeah, no, I get where the question's going here, though, and I think really where it stems from is you're seeing some usages where you're like, wait a minute, we found out last year that's a bad idea to do. But one thing you got to remember is Pedro Grafal is a brand new manager. Rick Hahn is the first guy to give him an opportunity. Yeah. He's not going to cross him in the first 3 weeks of the season and go against something or agree exactly with what Tony La Russa did prior, because the whole thing was shedding the Tony La Russa thing from a PR perspective. So a little by little, you'll see him going in the directions he thinks is actually right, but you may see some stuff early in the season, in my opinion, that is just yes, sir, to the GM that hired him. And so I think that's some of the stuff that you're seeing. Some of the crosses over from what we saw before. And it's like, whoa, we know that doesn't work. But I think there's a little bit of, we got to go in a different direction because we told everyone we're going to be different than the last manager. And so I think little by little, by the time we get to the middle of the season, I bet you we see the team running exactly the way Pedro thinks this team should run and less about that conversion.
So without Jake Diekman.
hopefully a minimal Jake Diekman usage. That's absolutely right. All right, next question is from Yumper. Oh, and Yumper says, if you had to cast a member of the 108 to play a character from The Sopranos, who would you cast and who would they play?
I'm a sus.
See, I was going to have a bad joke, but I'm not going to do it.
Ooh.
Well, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Your breathing reminds me of Tony Soprano. Because you're asthmatic. So you could be the Tony Soprano type. Yeah, you just like.
I like how they mic that up like Steve Albini would mic up some drums. Like, they want to make sure you got all of the
delay on it. Let's slight delay on it so it really fills the room.
Hit the reverb a little bit. Just you gotta get the whole thing.
It's just, oh god, you want to kill him just because that whole season it was just so overwhelming. But yeah, no, that you would be a fun Tony Soprano just for the breathing alone.
Great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
That's fair.
I mean, I think I'm going to take our guy Law, Mr. Hand, as Uncle Junior. I think he's made a very good Uncle Junior. Although, I'm going to say, I think he might have gone for the half and half on the park bench. All right? Just throwing it out.
Just a guess. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like someone who sits in the section who's kind of high energy. I think like maybe Steve O could be Christopher Moltisanti.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a goof, and, like, everyone loves him. But they know he's kind of a fuck up. Like, it feels like the same thing to me. Like,
has he gotten wasted and sat on the dog?
not to my knowledge, but there's always this season.
That's true.
You never know what come out of it.
He could definitely be doing heroin too, because he's very thin.
Yeah, very slight. Very slight man. The hair, though. We didn't have to get him a wig because Christopher Moltisanti had a good head of hair.
Would you be willing to tell him that he's an embarrassment to the family?
You're weak. You're out of control. You're an embarrassment to yourself and everybody else. I'd be happy to deliver that. All right, next up is from SPF. SPF asks, would Rick Hahn even be allowed in the tub with the three of you for the Sunday soak? And if he were allowed, in one sentence, what would you tell him, my sex symbol?
Man, what would I tell Rick?
Well, would he be allowed?
Yeah, he's allowed. Fuck yeah. I mean, the numbers alone, just to get people to watch, that would be awesome. It's like him coming into the tub would be, that'd be huge. Yeah, fuck yes. He's 100% allowed. What was one thing I would ask him? I mean, that's where it gets hard because you're like, there's a lot of things I want to ask, but I wouldn't want to do it live because he wouldn't give me a real answer. It'd be like, how much are you really hampered by Jerry, and how much is it actually just you being bad at it? I think that's probably
kind of what everyone wants to really know, right?
Because like you have your people on one side that are like, hey, it's Jerry, but then you also have like the signing of Mike Clevenger, where you know that it had nothing to do with Jerry. Was all Rick was like, I need to get this guy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can ask him a question like, what move that you made that you had a lot of confidence in when you made it didn't work out? Worked out terribly compared. Maybe you can get a little bit out of them.
Yeah.
No, none of these guys, they ask all softball questions. Doesn't matter. Treasy, what do you think?
I mean, I would obviously let him in.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? He doesn't seem like a dangerous person. I would say, first I would ask him, Rick, why did you wear a suit into the hot tub? And then my second question would be, why did you make wood so quickly?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not trying to be contrarian, but I have no interest in having Rick Hahn in this hot tub or talking to him. I don't watch any of his quotes or anything. I'm kind of like over the, you want to impress me, put some good stuff on the field that wins. I'm not interested in what you have to say because you don't say nothing. So I'm good. Nothing against you personally. I'm sure you're fine.
It would be worth asking him though when he says the White Sox fans I've talked to. Could we ask him who those White Sox fans are?
I'd really like to know.
This would be interesting conversation.
Probably at the convention that they do.
Oh wait, yeah.
So,
maybe not.
You know what I'm saying? Love's always been against having players on the involved in anything we do. Doesn't want that.
I know.
Doesn't necessarily want. Yeah, but I don't think your reasoning is the same as his. I think his reasoning is now he doesn't want Rick coming in here because he doesn't want his star not to be so bright. He's like, we can't bring in somebody bigger.
It's not that. Like I look at it,
like God forbid you or I have a bigger following than him. We would be allowed to.
I would love it.
We would
I would absolutely love it. Are you kidding me?
Kicked out.
Shit. No, I'll tell you the real reason with the players. Most players are fucking boring. Like if you told me we'd get Daniel Palka in here, he's hilarious. I would have him in here. You know, if you told me we're gonna get like Brandon McCarthy or someone who I think is really funny, yeah, I would love to have them in here. Most players don't have anything. And what's even worse is like when you hear an interview with a minor league player. It's like, dude, these guys have been doing nothing but baseball since they were 4. They don't know anything to talk about. Right. They have no personality.
Tell us what kind of pitcher you are. Right here.
It's like, come on. So I just that stuff doesn't interest me. You know, like
is that an erection?
If someone's a personality, I wouldn't mind Kenny Williams in here over Rick Hahn. I wouldn't even want to talk specifically about this team. I just want to get old war stories. I mean, that would be my approach.
Yeah, we'd only talk 49ers football.
All right, next question from Matt Ramsey. Matt Ramsey said, who would win in a battle royale amongst the White Sox beat writers? Treasy, who's your soldier here?
I mean, I'm almost feeling like I've met a few of these guys in person.
Yep.
And like not a lot of fighters amongst the group.
I would say not, yeah.
I'm leaning Van Scout.
He is older though too.
He is, but I think like he might have a few tricks up his sleeve. You know, you grab someone by the back of the neck and throw him on the ground while he swats Merkin away with the other hand.
Yeah.
You know, like so. I don't know. I feel like it could be Van Scout. I'm not going to discount Lamont Pope. I feel like we don't hear from Lamont Pope as much.
No, right.
But I think that maybe he could get in there and mix it up.
Yeah. MSS, who do you think?
The biggest prick of all of them, Vinny Duber. That's what I would say. He doesn't even have time for me. Doesn't talk to anybody. He's got a mustache. You know, he's just a big miserable prick. So he can probably talk to
He's tall too, right? He's
tall.
like your height. He's 6'4", 6'5", or something like that.
Slender.
Yeah,
he's not fat.
I don't know. I feel like Merck is gritty. I would go Merck. I think he would do whatever it took to get the job done. He would get out of there alive.
Merck's the first one getting eaten.
No, I don't know, man.
If he's in the plane crash with us, he's eating day one.
He's small.
We're making Merck kebabs.
You gotta wonder, like, some of the smaller, like is Vegan in Merck,
Yeah.
are they scrappy enough?
Yeah, right.
You know, to really get in
definitely not
like,
scrappy.
No, he
Well,
went to Notre Dame.
will Merck bite one of these motherfuckers, right? Like that's what you got.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Yeah. We're
Merck-
willing to
Merck
go.
running after Fegan with the fork, going, "I'm gonna eat you, James." That would be great.
He's like Brick.
First, I'm gonna fuck you up. Now I'm gonna eat you.
Next question's from Greg Miller, and Greg says, "If you guys get electrocuted in the tub doing the Sunday soak and develop superpowers, what superpower do you want? Treasy, what's the superpower you want?"
I want to be able to see into the future,
Okay.
so that I could be right about one fucking future bet. Like ever.
That's it.
It could go away after the first one. I get to see into the future who wins the Cy Young this year. Not James Shields. All right, I lose the power immediately after that.
Unless that's about you.
I go back in time. Then you can make changes, and you can do all sorts of things. You can be like, "Hey, that one time I should have done this instead of doing that." You can do it.
You're willing to butterfly effect your whole life by doing that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I just got to be honest. Things haven't been great in the past for Nate Connor. So I might keep going forward.
You know what? For me, I realize
You can change that shit.
I have a finely tuned superpower that is beneficial to me and me only.
Catching that sound.
Well, that's just my athleticism. Yesterday, I exercised it too. Someone came up to me. They started telling me a story that I really didn't care about. I roped in my sex summer, got the story told to him, and I left. And I realized I do this sometimes, but I don't really push myself on it. More and more, I'm going to do that. So if I do that too, I apologize. My sex summer was much more interested in your story than I was. So it's off of the bat.
Yeah, that was done by you to give away your move.
Should have said nothing. Should have kept it quiet.
Kept your mouth shut. That's why I couldn't cast you in The Sopranos. You would have got killed immediately. You would have been killed quicker than Big Pussy. You know?
Horrible boss.
All right, next question from Barry Bag of Donuts. Barry Bag of Donuts says, would you keep Jake Berger in the lineup when Moncada returns? Treasy, I know you got a lot to say about this.
I think you got to, like, yes, I want to keep him up. I think Hanser Alberto could go away.
Like forever.
If Lenine Sosa, if we all agree Lenine Sosa should stay up here, then Hanser Alberto should go away.
Yep.
And if you keep Berger up, I'm fine with Berger up. He doesn't have to play every day. Like, stop trying to find ways for him to play every day. Play him 3-4 times a week. Get that bat in there. When you need a pinch hitter, you actually have a dynamite bat off the bench.
Yeah.
The thing is, what you're not seeing about Jake Berger right now, and what exists for him, is Berger could go out there and strike out all 4 times he goes up to a bat. And those games are going to happen. Right now, we're all excited about what he is and what he's been.
Yeah.
And I like that. There are ways to use that without going, we have to displace everybody on the roster and make room for this guy, right? But you could, obviously, Moncada's going to need days off, right? Give him more days off. Then don't make him go out there when everything on his body looks like it hurts. Right?
Yeah. Manage this properly.
We worry about Eloy out in right field, but every once in a while, get Eloy out in right field. He's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. And shit, do you want Gavin Sheets out there instead? Probably not. Right? Like so I think that there's a lot of places where you can pop him in. Give Andrew Vaughn a day off so that he doesn't fall apart at the end of the season.
That's it.
Right? Like there's all these.
Vaughn has 0 homers, and Berger has 3, and Berger has like a third of the plate appearances.
How the fuck does Vaughn have 0?
He's got 0 homers, baby. MSS, how about you? What's that you? Berger, keep him here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think just laid out by the genius over here. All great reasons. Hanser Alberto, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't see why he's there, why he's getting so much playing time. Just let Berger be in there and just do it. And obviously, if he's hitting more home runs than the goddamn natural first baseman out there,
I should be lying.
Now I'm angry. I'm waking up like Dave now. I'm gonna be waking up like Dave, all angry. It's like, why is this guy not hitting? It's a dick.
And to close out the show, I agree with you guys. You guys said it absolutely fucking perfectly. And to close out the show, question from Billy Wires. And Billy Wires asks, is the M&M leather jacket guy an A, serial killer, B, a swinger, or C, a compulsive masturbator? I figured we'd work on the problem together. Treasy, your initial thoughts.
All right. Well, let's go by one.
Yeah, let's
do it. Let's start from C. Is he a compulsive masturbator? We would have caught it. We would have caught it on the telecast. He's on TV way too much.
Well, I was going to say, I've only seen him jerking off on TV 3 to 4 times in the entire.
That's not a compulsion.
That's not crime. That's not crime. That's not a compulsive masturbator.
No.
That's an occasional masturbation. sometimes shit happens. You got to rub one out there in the game.
It's stressful. It's stressful going to these games. You got to keep your stress level.
That's right.
Okay, I'm so out.
See, he's not a compulsive.
Is he a serial killer? Now, he does always have someone different with him at the game.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I've never seen those people again. So there's a chance. There's a chance here. But maybe let's attack this A and B at the same time.
Okay.
Is he boning them and leaving them outside the bang bus?
Yeah.
Or is he murdering them and my suck summer's eating them? My suck summer, I'll kick it too first.
We should. I might be able to address that. That's fucking ridiculous. Of course I mean. No, he's definitely. I feel like we'd have to get his GPS and see where he's been because he's been around the lakefront. Yeah. You know, there's a serial killer in Chicago. It might be him.
Alleged.
The jacket also is not leather; it's canvas. It is not leather.
Okay.
That poor guy would die in the summer with that fucking jacket.
We took a picture of him. He smelled great, actually.
He did.
I was in the middle of summer.
And he was outside smoking with a female. So I'm going with B. He's definitely a swinger. He's definitely down swinging. And like, you don't run a limo company and have all this money and not be a swinger.
So you think he's pulling like the Jackie and he's driving down the street? And he's like, "Hey, you want to come in here?
Yeah, hang out with Roller Girl."
Yeah.
Imagine how many cocaine parties he's had in a stretch limo.
Okay, here's a question. Here's a question, you guys.
You just fall into pussy when you're in a stretch limo and there's a bunch of cocaine.
And to the fans, please look this up and find this for me and send it to me. Do we have any pictures of the M&M jacket guy and Jim Irsay together? Because we know one guy loves to have fun in a limousine and the other guy owns a limo company. So we might answer it right here. So go, internet sleuths, get on this one and let us know.
That's all we got. See you guys in the ballpark in a little bit. It's chilly today, all right? Bundle up, motherfucker. Let's get that series victory. We need one.